A couple days back, I was able to watch the first 4 episodes of Loki Season 2. So let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk about movies and TV way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comments section. Share your thoughts on Loki, the series, and your excitement level for Season 2. Now, generally speaking, a lot of people feel like the Marvel Disney Plus shows tend to kick off with some interesting concept and then get lost in the middle and rush the finale, and they're not fully satisfying as seasons. It also feels like Loki is one of the exceptions to that. Most everyone seems to really enjoy Loki, and thus this is one of the more anticipated Marvel Disney Plus shows that are coming, and in particular because it is so pivotal to the multiverse saga. This was the show that kind of kicked off, broke the sacred timeline so we could have a multiverse, introduced He Who Remains, our first Kang variant, and based off a post-credit scene, we know that He Who Remains, a Kang variant, Jonathan Majors, will be heavily featured in this season, so there's a lot of excitement heading into this one. But does it live up to the hype? Let's get started with the good. And right off the bat, this season delivers more of what made the first season stand out. It has more of all these kind of quirky little details about the TVA and how it's designed. Its production design is just, it's a fun place to go to. There's all this analog tech that's super advanced, and then you have Miss Minutes as this animated character that has much more to do this season than in the first season. And just all of these oddball characters. The big standout that's a new one is Huy Quan's character, kind of works in research and development and is part of kind of explaining the rules of how everything works and defining things. And so just a nice, fun addition as this guy that is largely there to explain things, but does so in a way that's a lot of fun. Along these same lines, you get more of just the witty, fun, clever dialogue, the wordplay, the banter. It's just filled with that stuff. In particular, as we're going to Huy Quan's character and trying to figure out what's going on with Loki, what's going on with his tech, what we need to do to resolve everything, how certain time loops and time paradoxes are taking place, and just kind of the way that he just matter-of-factly says things, matter-of-factly is confused by things. It's just a lot of fun. And as it is kind of this story about this group set apart from time, whilst going into time, it just messes with all sorts of time travel lore, and all sorts of fun shenanigans happen because of everything that's kind of going on with all of this. Another nice detail in here is that I feel like this season has a clearer villain. Whereas the first one's kind of more this investigation, you're trying to track it down, it's Sylvie, but it's not really, but it's really, the system is corrupt, and then when we meet the person behind all of it, he doesn't exactly have a nefarious plan, but he is certainly being a dictator of sorts. This season gives you characters that are like, they're evil, they're out doing bad stuff, that's not cool, and it kind of creates this looming threat that's out there that gives us a ticking clock. We need to resolve that before things get really, really bad. And so because of that, I mean, it feels kind of grander in scope and size because that threat is out there. We're having fun, so it still has the laughs, it has the banter, the oddball characters, so it gives you more of what you want from Loki. But I felt it was a good follow-up season, not a great follow-up season, so let's move on to the bad. And the big thing here is that I just felt that it was very unfocused. Like, there's so many plot lines, there's so many characters, there's so many motivations that we're just kind of going all over the place trying to do everything. And it's trying to do two things at once. Have this chaotic, urgent threat where we're just having to run around constantly trying to put out fires and resolve everything. But also the first season, one of the fun things about it was all the times where Loki and Mobius would just sit down and talk. And so it's trying to pause to talk and have these just conversations that have room to breathe while also having this chaotic, urgent pace to it. And those things are kind of at odds with each other. In particular, the second episode feels like it is just like going at a slow pace and you're enjoying it, and then it just chaotically rushes to a finale. And so there's kind of a lot going on here. Also, it feels like they didn't know where they were going with season 2 when they did the final sequence in the first season. And so episode 1 feels like it's just trying to undo what they did in the finale of the last episode so that we can do the actual plot that they wanted to do here. So I feel like maybe they just need to focus a little bit more because we're just hopping around a lot. Also, if you're going into this hoping for this big revelation about the multiverse saga and how it's all going to tie together, that's not exactly what this is. Jonathan Majors, our Kang variant, is very prominent in 2 of these 4 episodes, but it feels like it's just tying into the plot that we're telling for these episodes in this season. It's not clear how it impacts the greater multiverse saga yet. I'm sure by the end of it we'll get something, but don't expect, like from episode 1, big revelations that have massive implications for all of this as a whole. And a lot of the plotting is just too complicated. They kind of play it for jokes where they like have this plan that's like, do this, then this, this, and this, and someone's like, really? That's a bit much. Isn't there a simpler way to do that? But everything's like that. There's this complicated plan and someone then has to like pause to ask everything going on. So there's just a lot of exposition about planning here. Overall, it's more of what I liked about the first season, but less focused, messier, and too complicated in another sense. So if you like season 1, I think you're gonna like this one. It's tough to know exactly how good it is until you get to the resolution at the end, but the first 4 episodes are very enjoyable, more of all the fun you liked, maybe a little bit too chaotic at the same time. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and keep talking movies and TV too much. Bye-bye.